Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Gold with a team of only Smeargle was brutally long. Let's follow that up with a weird one. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Red with only HMs? So this is a weird one that I get requested quite a bit actually. We all know what HMs are, right? Those are the moves that you get so that you can travel to new areas of the map. In combat, a lot of HMs aren't that useful, but they're not all garbage either. In Gen 1, there were 5 HMs. Cut, Strength, Surf, Fly, and Flash. So 3 standard damage moves, 1 2-turn damage move, and an accuracy drop. It's not much, but we can make this work. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm confident that I can win, but I don't know how many problems the tiny move variety will cause. We might have a really hard time fighting strong water types. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use HM moves. I guess it's not really any more complicated than that. I don't even need a rule about needing other Pokemon for HMs, that just won't come up. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoy the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So, this challenge run can't actually start until after we have our first HM move, obviously. The earliest one you can get is Cut, and the least amount of major fights you can do to get there is Brock's Rock Gym, the Cerulean City rival fight, and then the SSN rival fight. To get there, I just grabbed Bulbasaur from the start of the game, partly because he's my favorite starter, and partly because he can learn Cut. Charizard and Blastoise are both better in the long run since they can learn some more HMs, but I mostly just want Bulbasaur, so I can Bulbasaur all my way through the early game to get to the point where the run really starts. Seriously, why do you watch me every week? Also, check out what I just found. I accidentally pressed the A button on the hole in the back of the house that you leave Cerulean City through, and it actually has a text box. I've been playing this game since 1998 when it released here in Canada, and I have never noticed this before. Once we grab the HM for Cut from the captain, this run can finally start properly. We can't use Cut outside of battle until after the water gym though, so that's our top priority. By the time we got here, Bulbasaur has already fully evolved, and that's probably going to be necessary, considering from here on all he can use is Cut. Thankfully, because we ended up at such a high level just getting to where Cut was, we had an easy time with Misty's water gym. I'm kind of dreading Rock Tunnel though. Right after beating the water gym, the first thing I did was go through Diglett Cave to cut our way back to the start of the game where we can catch a male Nidoran. Yeah, I could have technically caught this in the setup phase at the start, but this felt a little more fair to me. I picked up a Moonstone while I was in Mount Moon, and that means that this Nidoran will be a Nidoking before we know it. I also picked something else up while I was in Mount Moon, but I'm not sure if anyone was going to ask about it, so there's no need to show it. With that done, I go into the Electric Gym. So Cut is 50 power, 95 accuracy, normal type, and it's got no special properties. It's a pretty bland and weak move, but it's all we've got until Fly. It does this job and gets us through the Electric Gym just fine. Before we go to Rock Tunnel though, I go ahead and catch a Spearow. I doubt that we'll be keeping this for very long, but we need something with Fly to get through Pokemon Tower later. You can't cut a ghost, but you can fly into it. Don't let the fact that Fly is just a tackle from a higher angle fool you into thinking that it wouldn't work on a ghost, because as we all know, ghosts are weak to attacks from above. And below, Dig works too in this game. In Rock Tunnel, I was worried we would have a rough time having to cut through a hiker's Geodudes, but it wasn't too bad. We're a decent level with pretty good Pokemon, and they were just doing random moves, so it worked out. Now that we're through Rock Tunnel, we can go get Fly. Now, in Gen 1, this was 70 power rather than 90, but other than that, it's the same as it is now. 95 accuracy, flying type, and it works like Dig, where you spend the first time dodging the enemy's attack before actually hitting them on the next turn. We give it to Spearow right away so that we can grind it up a little bit to deal with Pokemon Tower. But first, the Grass Gym while we're in town. This was super easy thanks to Erica's hilarious move choice. Like, she opened the fight by trying to use Poison Powder on a Poison type. What is she doing? We had the Spearow fight Tangela just to see how strong it is, but it's really not doing much. We'll probably be replacing Spearow as soon as we're done Pokemon Tower. First though, I have to fight Giovanni for the Silph Scope. We cut our way through on the first try pretty easily, but thanks to his rock types, it ends up taking ages. I'm happy I decided to just focus on one Pokemon with Cut for the first half of the game, because if I had multiple Pokemon at lower levels with Cut, this would have been awful. Pokemon Tower rival time. This is the last of the super easy rival fights usually, and after this is when he gets some better moves and evolves more of his team. We cut our way through pretty quickly. For the tower itself, Spearow, who is now a Fearow, did a decent enough job by just spamming Fly. Now that we're getting the Silph Scope though, it's time for new Pokemon. First, I catch Doduo on Cycling Road. Despite clearly being a flightless bird, it does learn Fly, so this will be a solid upgrade. Then I go to the Safari Zone to catch Rhyhorn. It's a pain to even find one, and even more of a pain to catch them. The Safari Zone is rough in general. Still, we can evolve this into a powerful Rhydon to do some decent damage with Strength. Plus, weirdly enough, he can learn Surf too. Honestly, I don't even know if I'll bother teaching it to him since he probably won't do any damage with it. Speaking of Surf and Strength, I picked up both while I was in town. That means we have 4 HMs now. I don't think I'm gonna bother picking up Flash. It's kind of out of the way, and I doubt we need it for this run. Next, I get the Super Rod and fish until I get Krabby. He can learn 3 of the 4 HMs and has really high attack. I don't know for sure if I'll need this, but it could be strong. Finally, through Switch training, we got our Nidoran to evolve so I could give it the Moonstone to turn it into Nidoking, letting it use Surf and Strength. Hey, our team is actually really shaping up. I mean, we have to grind them a bunch just to catch them up to where we are in the game, since most of them just now learned moves they can use, but hey, this is still progress. With all of that prep work done, let's give the Poison Gym a try. This was a first try, but would you just look at the battle? Our team is actually really resistant to Poison type, but we don't do much damage. We're a lower level than them, they're reasonably tanky, and Muck just absolutely spams Minimize like you wouldn't believe. It really doesn't help that even after him, Coughing Smoke screened us so much that we actually had to start switching Pokemon just to land hits. Eventually, in the end, we won how we usually beat Koga. He blew himself up with his last Pokemon. Great job, dude. On the way to Cinnabar Island, we ran into this Whopper level 40 Tentacruel, who's literally a higher level than my entire team but the Venusaur that we started with. Considering Tentacruel can hit like a freight train with Surf in this game, I gladly catch it. Naturally, we use it right away to just sweep the Fire Gym. This really couldn't have been more perfect. He fell right into our laps. I didn't even look for him. Before leaving Cinnabar, though, we go ahead and revive Omanite to put him in the PC. Sorry, dude, I know that you'd be good for this run, but seriously, that Tentacruel is just ridiculous. I can't not use him instead. The stat difference is just too big. Right, next up is Silphco. No need for us to clear the place, though. Let's just go straight after the rival and see how we match up. This Tentacruel has me pretty confident. First is Pidgeot. We brute force it down with Surf, but we got crit with a wing attack. Not a great start. For Execute, I sent out Nidoking to brute force it with Strength. We had a great crit at the start, but then he got Reflect up and Leech Seed, so I switched. Reflect in Gen 1 is attached to the Pokemon, so it lasts till he faints or switches. I had Bulbasaur cut him down to finish him off since his powders won't work on him. Not having a great answer for Water Onyx, I just kept our Bulbasaur out to spam Cut. It feels weird calling him Bulbasaur when he's a Venusaur, but you know, the nickname, you get what I'm going for. We could have gone down if he kept using Dragon Rage, but we crit a couple times for a quick feint. We switched to Kingler for Alakazam, hoping to just take him out with our high attack stat. He used Disable twice, so he was a quick knockout. Next is Charizard, so it's out to Tentacruel for an easy one-shot with Surf. That was a clean fight. After that is the Silphco Giovanni fight, and this one is normally pretty easy, but this time I didn't even heal after the rival fight. I just went straight in and swept him with Tentacruel. I get the feeling the Ground Gym is going to go the same way. Before the Ground Gym, though, we've got to go do the Psychic Gym. We're in the home stretch. I actually thought we were going to lose this fight because our only Pokemon that are near their level are all weak to Psychic, but Tentacruel's Surf was so strong that we just brute forced our way through anyway. Time for the final gym, Giovanni's Ground Gym. I was originally going to use Kingler to sweep him just to catch up his level a bit, but he ended up going down to a crit by Dig. After that, Tentacruel had an easy time taking out the entire rest of his team. Time for the pre-Elite Four rival fight. Pidgeot is first, and right away we weren't doing much damage. He wasted some of his time with stuff like Agility and Whirlwind, so despite being a way lower level, we actually took him down. Rhyhorn is next, so I just have Kingler one-shot it. Even with our terrible special, Rhyhorn can't handle Surf. Out to our Nidoking for Execute again, but we get paralyzed and seeded right away. I really have to learn my lesson on this. Back out to Bulbasaur again, who cuts him down easily. I feel like Bulbasaur is just my Execute counter at this point. Water Onyx is up, so I keep cutting him just like the last rival fight. This time, we don't just crit him a bunch, and he uses Dragon Rage more, so we actually went down. By the time Tentacruel came out, he was almost down though, so we finished it fast with Silph. 5th is Alakazam, so I had Tentacruel outspeed it and hit hard with Silph just to get rocked by a critical Psychic that one-shot us. That was pretty brutal. To cut a long story short, I threw the entire rest of our team at him, but they went down one by one quickly. Alakazam is too fast, hits too hard, and crits all the time. I still like our team overall, but it looks like we're just too low level on some of them. It's a shame that we can't get to Victory Road yet, since that would be great to grind in, but we're not too high of a level yet, so this grind overall isn't too bad. I mostly did it in the Pokemon Mansion, just because the levels there are relatively similar to ours. Back at it again, this time we take Pidgeot down with Rhyhorn instead, super easily. Their Rhyhorn is still a one-shot, and we quickly cut down Execute just like last time. Now it's Alakazam time. First we send out Rhyhorn, but he uses Reflect right away to buff his defense. We don't do much before he takes us down with some Psybeams. Dodrio's next, but we actually got outsped and one-shot with Psychic. Next is Tentacruel, who is faster and left Alakazam with red health, but this time he just used Reflect again rather than Psychic, so he went down. Last was Charizard, but he was an easy one-shot with Silph. Let's take another look at our team now that we're at the Elite Four. Well, a lot of them aren't exactly amazing, but Tentacruel is still a beast. I bet he could get us through a decent chunk of the Elite Four by himself, but we'll still need to deal with Lorelei and Lance. They mostly resist water. Let's grind up everybody to at least level 50, then give it a try. That's still lower than most of the Elite Four's Pokemon. I don't like that Strength and Fly are my best non-water moves, but it's what we've got. This might be enough to win, but I'm not really sure. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. Dugong is first, so I sent in Kingler to resist the water and ice moves while dealing damage with Strength. Dugong just ended up going to sleep right away though, so we won. Get it together, Lorelei. For Cloyster, I sent out Tentacruel, knowing that our high special is our best way to overcome the tanky opponent. We actually completely overwhelmed him fast thanks to a crit. Slowbro was next, and he's prone to becoming a beast with Amnesia, so it's out to Dodrio. Slowbro kept going for Growl, Amnesia, and Withdrawal though, so we just kept spamming Fly. He's getting scary strong since Amnesia raises your special in Gen 1, as in the special attack and defense. If he landed a water gun, we'd faint, but he just never did. Next up is Jinx, but we ended up missing our 95 accuracy move, then got crit by Ice Punch. Welcome to Pokemon. Ouch. I sent out Tentacruel just to overpower it with Silph. We took a Body Slam, but it didn't do much, so we took it out on the follow-up. Last is Lapras, so I sent out Kingler for the same reason as Dugong, tanking them while using Strength. We ended up getting paralyzed right away by Body Slam, though, as well as confused. It didn't take long for us to go down between hitting ourselves and their Body Slams. I ended up just sending out Tentacruel to brute force it with Silph. It took a few hits, but it actually worked. We beat Lorelei while being a lower level than her. I actually didn't think that would happen with this moveset. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. This was a pretty easy sweep with Tentacruel, especially since Bruno passed up his only chance to hit us with Machamp. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha. Gengar was first and took us out fast on many runs with Hypnosis. But randomly, Agatha just pulled him out after he got hit once, so we used Silph to take down Golbat. She then sent Gengar back out, and although we got confused early, we also crit Silph to finish it. Haunter re-confused us, but only took 2 hits to go down. On Arbok, we switched to Nidoking, mostly just so that we'd get rid of confusion on Tentacruel. We ended up getting paralyzed by Glare, but as we were using Strength to take it down, she switched to another Gengar. Our Silph did almost nothing, but then on the second try, she switched back to Arbok, who instantly went down. What is she even doing? We switched to Tentacruel and quickly took out the last Gengar. We lost the first few tries of this to Hypnosis and Dream Eater, and then suddenly this. I appreciate that Agatha wants me to have a shorter workday. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. Water Onyx is first, so I decided to just open with Dodrio. He kept going for Hyper Beam and Hydro Pump while we were in the air on Fly, so in the end we only got hit by a Dragon Rage. I decided to just keep spamming Fly as long as I could to see how far I could get into the fight. I took down one Dragonair and did quite a bit of damage to the second one. After we went down, I switched out to Rhydon to finish it off. For Aerodactyl, we nailed a one-shot with Silph from Tentacruel. Last was Dragonite, but I wasn't worried. See, in Gen 1, the Elite Four always pick moves that are super effective when they get the chance. Problem is, Dragonite has multiple psychic moves that just power him up, So he's just spamming those on Nidoking, thinking, hey, it's poison type, this'll work. We deal almost no damage to him thanks to him maxing out his defense early, but he also would never go for a proper attack. Thanks to his Hyper Potion, he took ages to take down, but in the end, we beat him without taking any damage. Finally, the Pokemon Champion. Pidgeot was first, so I sent in Rhydon to brute force him easily. For Alakazam, we sent in Dodrio. First round, Alakazam used Recover with full health, so he landed a hit just fine for tons of damage. He healed again, then put Reflect on himself to keep himself safe, but then he kept using Reflect over and over. He did end up hitting Psychic to nearly one-shot us, but we still got the win. His Rhydon was an easy one-shot with Tentacruel, and fourth was Executor, so we sent Dodrio back in. We did great damage, but went down to Barrage. I sent in Rhydon, knowing Executor doesn't have any grass moves, but we ended up getting put to sleep for ages and whittled down with Barrage. It's insane just how much time he can waste with this thing. Gen 1 sleep is brutal. As soon as we finally woke up, we hit Strength to finish him. Fifth is Water Onyx, so I decided to send in Kingler, knowing he could tank the water moves and use Strength. It actually ended up going amazingly because he just kept using Leer, so we took no damage. Last is Charizard, who got rocked by Surf, used a full restore, got rocked by it again, then used Rage. Yeah, that didn't exactly sweep my team, so another Surf finished it, getting us into the Hall of Fame and winning us the run. That was a pretty fun challenge. Yeah, our moves were pretty bland, but I got to use new Pokemon, so that's always cool. Plus, now that we have that done, I can start planning out an HM run in Gen 2. I guess as we go on and do later generations, we're just gonna have more interesting moves. I really hope you guys liked that run. No Pokemon challenge next Saturday. Normally it would be a Bethesda challenge that week, but I'm gonna try and take that week to work more on other projects instead. Plus, I'll be streaming more on Twitch. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend Whatageek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, Whatageek, and Gooseit playing Pokemon right here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and we're working on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. We actually just streamed some grinding in that recently. Also, come to my Twitch TV streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.